Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I will be showing you how you can integrate a real-time in-chat app into your own application. Okay, it is very fast and easy to integrate in your own application. So whether you are building a social app or e-commerce website or anything other than that, you can also use this ZegoCloud Chat API or SDK for integrating the in-chat app into your own web application. It's a powerful platform that provides you ready-to-use SDKs for voice, video, and chat applications. So you don't need to build a complex infrastructure for this. So all right, guys, let's jump into the code. So now let's go to the ZegoCloud, okay, and try to create your own account. Now you have to create a new chat app. I have created this one. So I am showing you the procedure how you can create your own chat app. Okay, so click on the create a new project. Now we are using the in chat app. Okay, so select on this and click on the next one. Now let's give it the project name. I am giving the YT chat app. Now it is creating our project. So it will take some time. So our project is created. Now you are having this project. So it is showing that creating. It will take 1 minute or two. So it will be created. Okay. So you can see this project is created. Now click on this project and you will be able to see all the details on this project. So we are having the app sign, app ID and server secret and all these things. Okay. So first of all, what you have to do, you have to change this testing to you online. Okay, confirm. Now you can go to the service management and in the in chat app and you can click on the activate. So this will take some time to be activated. Okay, so you can wait for 1 minute or 2 minutes. So now you can see that it is activated. Okay, so we have activated and created the project on the Zego Cloud. Now let's try to integrate it in the our React application. So let's dive into it. So I have opened the Zego Cloud documentation. You can go to over here and we are going to use the in chat app. Okay, and find out more. Now what we are going to do, we are having the in chat app and we are going to use with the web TypeScript. So click over here. Now we are having the send and receive messages over here. So what we have to do, first of all, we have to install this SDK, okay, npm package into our React application. Now let's create a React application and then try to integrate with the in-chat app of the Zego Cloud. So I have opened the terminal. Now let's cd desktop and app. So I have created a directory. Okay, now let's create a React app and we can create with at latest. We are using the React, okay, and we are using the JavaScript for easy purpose. So our React application is created and started. Okay, so let's close this one and open this into the VS Code. So our application is opened in the VS Code, okay, and we can open the terminal. Now, first of all, let's run this application. So now we are having a simple React application. So first of all, what we have to do, we have to install the Zim web. So let's do that. I am splitting this terminal. installing this npm package. So our npm package is installed. Okay, so now let's go to the app.tsx or app.jsx file and remove all the boilerplate code over here. Okay, and we can just simply say welcome to in chat app. Okay, and we can just remove this one also. And in the app.css, we can just remove all these things also. And we are having the index.css as empty. Now let's go to the documentation and try to implement that. So we have successfully installed this Zim web package. Now we have to import this one. Okay, so we can copy this one and we can import it over the here. Now what we have to do, we have to creating a Zim instance. So now let's create the Zim instance. So let's copy this code over here and paste it over here. So we have to provide the app ID over here. So let's go to the ZEGOCLOUD dashboard and we are having this app ID over here. So copy that app ID and we can just simply paste it over here. Okay. Now we have to create this Zim instance. So every time this page loads, okay, so it will be creating a Zim instance. So we are using the use effect over here. So what it will do, it will create a Zim instance for this one. Okay. And let's remove this one also. We are having the Zim as Zim instance. Now let's create a state for this, managing this instance variable. So let's do that. So const Zim instance and we set Zim instance. The first of all, it will be null after creating this Zim instance. So let's set this Zim instance also. So now we are having the Zim instance in this. Okay. So we have created the Zim instance. Okay. Now let's handle the event messages mentioned in the documentation. So in the documentation, we are having this event callbacks over here. So okay. So before the client users login, you will need to call an the on method to customize the event callbacks. Okay. So it is a similar to the WebSocket server. Whenever the client logs in or connects within, we have the on message over here and we can pass that one. Okay. So we are having all these things. So let's copy all these things and paste it over here. Okay. So these all things are provided by the ZEGOCLOUD. You don't have too much worry about how they will work. So you just have to follow the documentation only. So whenever this components unmount from the client side, so we have to destroy the instance of the Zim. So let's do that. So how we can do that? We can create a return callback function and we can say Zim dot destroy. Okay, we are having this destroy method. Now we are having the Zim instance and all the error handling over here and all the methods over here. Now let's create two users. Okay, then that will be chatting. Okay, so first of all, we are creating the user information state. Okay, so let's do that. Most user info, user info, and set user info that will be null in the starting. Also, we have to set a state of the selected user who is selected user right now. So do that. Now we are having the null over here. So let's create two user first of all. Const token for the Avinash, that would be empty at now, and the token for the, let's say, Aman. This is also an empty as of now. So in the selected user, let's try to first of all say this Avinash is the selected user. Okay, Avinash is the selected user. And also we have to check whether the user is logged in or not. So what we have to do, we can create a state of this also. Logged in, set logged in, false. Now let's extract the tokens for this Avinash and Aman user, okay, from the ZEGOCLOUD. So let's go to the ZEGOCLOUD, and over here, what we can do, we can use the temporary tokens over here for the testing purpose. So we can click on the generate and we can provide the name. Let's provide the name as Avinash, and we are having the token. So copy that token and go to the VS Code and we can paste it over here. Now similarly for this Aman, go to uh, generate Aman. Now we are having token for both Aman and Avinash. So now let's try to configure these things over here. So first of all, what we are having the Zim instance. Okay, we are setting the instance. If we are having an error, we are consoling that log. After that, we are having, if we are having any connection state changed event, okay, then what we are going to do, we are logging it again. So let's remove this first of all. We don't want that one. Now, if we are having the message, here message received and token will expire. So it is renewing the token. So let's uh, try to renew that token also. So whenever this event changed means peer message received, we have to init that event. So what we can do, we can set all the messages. Do we have the messages? Note. So let's make a messages and set messages. It is an empty. And we have to also set the message text. So let's do that. Input message, and input message will be as empty right now. So whenever this event changes or this event occur, peer message received, then what we are going to do, we are going to see set messages, the previous messages and the message list over here. Okay. So what we have to done, we have done set all the messages we are having the an array, set all the previous messages, also this messages list over here. So what we have done over here. Now, whenever this token will expire event occurs, what they have done over here, they have renewed the token. So which token we have to renew? So we are having the two tokens. Based on the logged in user, we have to renew the token. We are having the renew token. So we are having the selected user. If selected user is Avinash, then the use the token for the Avinash, otherwise use the token for the Aman. Okay, and we can just simply console over here the token renewed successfully. Token renew failed. So now we have done all the things that we need to do in order to implement this chat application. So we have successfully done all the methods or all the events for the sending messages, login, user, and renewing the token also. Now let's create a UI for this, and we can just simply select any one of the user and we can just log in over here. So let's do that. So if the user is logged in, then we are showing the chat model, and otherwise we will be showing the login model. Okay, so let's do that. So is we are having the logged in. If we are having the logged in, then just simply say div login page, and otherwise what we can do, we can just simply say uh, chat. Okay, so inside this login, so if the login is false, okay, uh, let's invert that over here. If logged in is false, then we are showing this one. So we are showing this welcome to the chat app, and what we are going to show, we are going to give a select over here. So select, so in the select, what we are having the value will be a selected user, and on change we will be pass the uh, we will take the event and we will set selected user target value, and we are having the both. What we have done, we have provided a select and we are having two options. First one is the Avinash and second one is the Aman. Okay, and we are setting the value over here. Whenever the user clicks on the button, we are saying that login, and we have to create a login method over here. So let's say login. Now let's create this login method. So if we are having the Zim instance, or if we are having, we can just simply return. Otherwise, what we can do, so we have to extract the user information. So let's do that. So const info is going to be an object. Okay. In this object, we will be having the user ID, which will be selected user, right? Selected user is equal to the Avinash, then we can do that as well, and username would be like this. So now we are having the information. After the information, let's select set this information. Set user info is info, and after that we will be logging in. So Zim instance dot log in. What we have to pass in this? We have to pass the user information and the token for this. So how we can fetch the token? I can just simply say uh, if the selected user is going to be in Avinash, then the token for the Avinash will be used. Otherwise, token for the Aman will be used. So yep, that's how we can log in. Okay. And after the logging in, we have to set the is logged in also. So what we can do, we can use the dot then method and set login as true. Dot catch the error. Okay. And also we can set the logged in as false. So we have created this login method. What we are going to do, we are having the information, user ID and username. Then we are setting the user information and create in the Zim instance. We are having the method as login. We are logging in as user information and the token that we are having. And after this login, we are successfully setting the logged in and login state also. So now let's try to log in over here. Go to the browser. So we are having an error, use state is not defined. So let's define that one. Now we are having the form. So we can select the Aman, and if I click over here, so cannot read the properties, reading user ID. Okay. Uh, we have to pass over here the info. Okay. Now let's try to log in. Now we are having, now the user is logged in successfully. Okay. So if I refresh, if I click on the login, then you can see I am logged in. Now we will be creating this chat. So now we are having the login functionality over here. Now let's try to implement this, sending the messages and receiving messages and show all the messages. So first of all, what we will do, we will create an input box and also a button. So we can type the message and we can send that. And after that, we will be showing all the messages. Okay. So let's do that. Inside this chat, what we can have an H1 saying that chat app like this. And inside this div, we can have another div which will say the messages, and inside this another div we will be having the input. Okay, input would be text, the value would be uh, message, not the message, input message, and the on change will be window target to value. And we would be having a button which would say that send. Okay, and we have to implement the on click over here. So let's do that. On click, which will say send message. We have to implement the send message. Okay, so let's do that over here. So in this send message, what we have to do, so if the user is not logged in, right, and the input message is not having any value, then just simply return. Otherwise, and if we are having the Zim instance also, then we are going to send the message. How we can do this and how we can send the message? So let's see that. So see, we can send this message like this one. We can have the conversation ID, configuration, and all these things for the one-on-one message. Okay. After this, what we have to do, we can just simply say these things. The message would be the input message. The conversation ID would be the uh, if the selected user is Avinash, then the ID would be Aman, otherwise Avinash. Okay, and the peers user ID will be 0, and the conversation type would be 0 because it will be having the one-on-one chat. Okay, and the configuration we have done. So this is how we can implement this one. So after this sending this message, what we can do, we can set the messages in the set messages, okay, and we set input message as empty. If we are having any error, we can just simply say sending, we are having an error while sending this message. So this is how we can implement the send message over here. Now let's show the messages. So we can show the uh, what we can do, user info dot user name, we can show that, and we can say message. And inside this message we can have another div, and what we can do, we can show all the messages we are having. So we can map over the messages, and we will be having a single message and then the index over here, and we can just simply say we will be having the div. Inside this div we will be having the key as the index, right? And the message dot from would give us who, from whom this message is coming, okay, and the content. And also we can show the timestamp also. So now let's try to check this one. If I click over the Avinash and log in over here, and if I send the message ASDF, it is saying, and if I log in over here as Aman and send the message as ASDF, so we are having an error, Zim is not defined. Okay. So in the send message, it is Zim Instance. Now let's log in. It is saying notification is not defined. So let's remove this notification from here. Now we are having the timestamps of all these things, and we don't have the, we are having the message content over here. It would be the message, right? Now we are having the message, and we are having the timestamp, and we are having the from, and we can send sender user ID. This is how we can extract. So if I send this one, it will be saying that Aman sent this message. And if I send over here, and this will say Avinash sent this message. So guys, we have successfully implemented the in chat app into our application. You can design it further as you wish. Okay, so we can use the ZegoCloud Zim Web SDK or NPM package to integrate the chat app functionality into your own app. So that's how easily you can add the real-time chat functionality into your React application or any Next.js or TypeScript web application, okay, with the ZegoCloud Chat SDK. So make sure that you are going to check all the SDKs and the documentation for the ZegoCloud. I am giving the link in the description below. You can check it out, and you will be getting 10,000 free minutes if you will sign up from the given link in the description below. And if you find this video helpful, so please drop a like and the comment. and you can share it with your friends, and you can just build a real-time chat app with your friends. So thank you so much guys for watching this video. I will see you in the next one.